gloves. Long-standing playoff tradition here in Detroit.
Arthur Zerbe had the best line in Game 1 here, and he felt there was a turning point to this game when Detroit was all over the Sharks. An octopus came on the ice, and it really slowed down play, and he's asked at the end of the game, what was the key to the game? And he said that. The octopus, well, he said the seafood on the ice was the key to the game.
The seafood. All right. Face off in the San Jose zone. Peterson wins it back for Westville's Krupa. Krupa tied up. Taken away by Fedorov in front, and Lidstrom fans on a great centering pass from Sergei Fedorov. 4-on-4. You think this would favor Detroit. Below the open ice, Pompey the shot, wide stick side.
Bowman has Fedorov and Yzerman on with Lidstrom and Coffey. I think that's a wise choice by Bowman to have all four of those features on the ice.
Norton behind his own net, looking to center. Larionov. 6:15 and counting left in the period. 1:18 and counting left in the coincidental minors. To Burr and Gaetan Duchesne. Here comes Makarov at center. Makarov to the backhand again. He scores! Sergei Makarov, his sixth goal of the playoffs, and oh man, do we have a story developing here.
Not a very good goal at all. A weak backhand play under the stick of Osgood. He moved it prematurely and it went right through his legs. Oh boy, these are the kind of goals that can break a team's morale after Detroit's trying to get right back into it. Heads up play by Makarov again. The second time in this period he goes to the backhand, and clearly Osgood just really whiffed on this one. Went to use his stick and kick the puck to the corner. Kicked it out way too soon and right through the legs. Now the Detroit Red Wings have a mountain to climb already, and you think, well, it's early in this game and they're only down 2-0. But the longer San Jose can play with the lead, the more confidence that Kevin Constantine is going to relay to them on the bench. And they've rallied all year long in close games. They performed well under pressure in close games this year.
Well, so much for my theory about the open ice favoring Detroit. Makarov gets his sixth goal in the playoffs. And you're right there. That was a bad goal to give up for Chris Osgood. Well, the Red Wings faithful teetering now on the brink, starting to boo their heroes as Draper's shot is shanked and comes in on the goaltender Urbe, who covers up for a faceoff. 2-0 Sharks.
Oklahoma's our home, a state where we take care of our own. We love those friendly faces and interesting places. The Oklahoma spirit's well known, and we'll be here as we've been all along, 'cause we're nearly 100 years strong. Yes, liberty, it's Oklahoma's band.
A grandfather clock would be a great addition to any home. It adds warmth and charm and becomes a cherished family heirloom. Mathis Brothers has customers who travel all across the country to shop our large selection and everyday low prices. This Cherry Ridgeway for only $388 features Westminster chime, fancy pediment, and is 6.5 feet tall. And this Ridgeway curio clock with mirrored back and glass shelves is only $6.99. Mark a special occasion and remember someone you love with a grandfather clock from Oklahoma's #1 furniture store, Mathis Brothers.
The San Jose Sharks, once just a logo. Now they're starting to get some recognizable names. And their coach, Kevin Constantine, the redhead from International Falls, Minnesota, what a job he's done. I asked him, you were blown out in Game 6, 6-1 or 7-1. How do you get over that? He says, if you forget the past, you might lose one eye. If you dwell on it, you'll lose both. He says, we're going to forget Game 6 happened. We're going to come out. It's 0-0 at the start. We're going to play our game. And he was very confident this morning.
Very confident person, a very intense person, but the pressure really clearly is on this guy, Chris Osgood, and what he has to do right now to get himself back in is you see the numbers in Game 5, 2 goals on 2 shots, 2 goals on 4 shots. After Game 5, he said, maybe if they don't pull me, we come back and win that hockey game. That's how confident he is. But clearly he has to make a save here, and a big save. Not an easy save. He's got to make another big save as he did after the first goal went in.
Nicholas Lidstrom at center on the left wing to Yzerman. I think it's imperative for Detroit to get the next goal here for their confidence, if nothing else. Lidstrom's got a good shot from the point. Shepard deflected it wide. With that lead now, Darren, the San Jose Sharks have the perfect situation for them to play their game, which is counterpunch all night long. Ozelin Gets it into Norton for a shot. And it's wide, stick side. Sean Burr at center. It'll be taken back by Ulf Dahlin. Sharks come in as the 8th seed. Detroit come in as the 1 seed. In the Western Conference. Sean Burr dumps it for Irving. Sheldon Kennedy can't control, and it's Ulf Dahlin at center. Nice pass by Dahlin to Todd Ellick, and the pads are closed this time by goaltender Osgood.
Once again, the San Jose Sharks fairly creative in the neutral zone, capitalizing on a 3-on-2. Long shot. Ellick and Dahlin have moved the puck around awfully well. Dahlin on the right-hand side going to his backhand right to Ellick. Ellick with the long shot. It's a good move by San Jose. Now try to test the young goaltender, see if he's jittery at all. But Osgood had no problems with that one. Todd Ellick was a waiver pickup on October 26th from the Edmonton Oilers. What an outstanding pickup that was by the Sharks.
They did their homework on that one, didn't they?
Ended up with 25 goals in the regular season.
Here's Steve Chason breaking out for Detroit. Straight for the big Bob Probert. He cruises in, but can't control it. Probert now, they give him plenty of room, don't they? Not a bad idea. Irving gets the first shot, rebound on the slide, stick to side. And Chason keeps it in the zone. And he gives it away, and here comes San Jose 2-on-2. Dahlin likes to take the long shot off of Chason's stick into the crowd. Bob Probert, here's a guy that can stir this crowd up, maybe get the momentum back in Detroit's favor.
Bob Probert is capable of doing that, and when he gets energy going and starts taking out the body, this big lumbering gentle giant off the ice, on the ice he really can go, obviously. But Bob Probert, he initiated things after San Jose got up 1-0 in this game. It was Bob Probert that labeled a couple of the San Jose Sharks, including Jeff Norton, with good open ice hits. Holds the Red Wing record for points in one playoff year, 21.
It's a big year for a big playoff series also for Bob Probert, because there have been rumors he might be moving on. Other teams are definitely interested in his services.
Well, he's played out his option, so that, you know, the Red Wings would still have the right to match any offers that came his way, which there will be plenty.
Oh, sure. Puck loose in the Detroit zone. Coffey behind his own net. Sean Cronin shoots it right back in. Nicholas Lindstrom. Coffey. Fedorov hit by Cronin at center, but not hard. Here's Paul Coffey. Well, the Sharks are standing up at that blue line, aren't they? They make it almost impossible for the Red Wings to skate the puck in.
Excellent job of reading the play. Bob Airey just jumping up at the blue line, almost startling Paul Coffey. And you're right, that would force the Detroit Red Wings to dump the puck in, something that they don't like to do as a team.
They'd rather not do it. Offsides on Dino Ciccarelli. 2-0 San Jose.
Taking a look at the weather, we've got a high-pressure system.
Sitting right here.
And that is bringing us nothing but beautiful clear skies and oh, Mr. Sunshine.
Is it just us, or are weathermen really only guessing?
But hold on.
It's gonna get better.
Clear as a bell.
Not a cloud in the sky.
Soaring.
Dry.
That's why we make the Isuzu Trooper. Because life's an adventure. Be prepared.
My prediction, it's gonna rain. Trust me.
Isuzu, practically amazing.
Here comes a whole new taste breakthrough. It's got less fat and better taste for you. It's not a trip off the same old block. That's right. Got new Pringles right crisps. That's right. Less fat and better taste than this. That's right. Better taste than less. Grease the proofs right here you see. That's right. It's not a chip off the same old block. Pringles right crisps. The taste pops here.
Goals by Karpilov and Makarov have Bob Probert and the Red Wings singing the blues on the bench, down 2-0 in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup quarterfinal, live on ESPN's National Hockey Night. The winner goes on, the loser goes home. And the Red Wings, after blowing out the Sharks 7-1 in Game 6, the media, both print and electronic, almost treated this game as a foregone conclusion here in Detroit. Surprised me after what we've seen earlier in the series.
Well, every first round for the last 3 years, the Red Wings have had to contend with a 7th game, losing 2 of the 3. A lot of pressure on the Red Wings and the franchise to win this game.
On the right wing, the shot taken by Konstantinov hits traffic in front. Well, the Sharks do a good job staying in front of their goaltender Irving, moving people out of the slot area, holding the shots to the wing, much like Toronto did the other night against Chicago. Larionov carries in. He's onside. Ozelich is going to the net. Makarov, he's forced to dump in. Osgood to Konstantinov with Duchesne right on his tail. Tom Peterson back in his own zone. O'Donnell winds up and hits.
Oh, my. Konstantinov just puts that in the arm, yeah.
Had to hoist. Under 2 minutes to go, first period. The Red Wings dump it down, and Elby Gilliam icing as Krupa touches up, and the boos cascade from the sellout crowd of almost 20,000. Coming up tomorrow, Sunday Night Baseball. Mo Vaughn, the Boston Red Sox, off to a great start this season, will be in Anaheim to take on the California Angels, featuring Tim Salmon. Exclusive national coverage of the Red Sox and Angels tomorrow night at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time, live from the Big A.
Alf Dolan picked up in a trade with the Dallas Stars. Regular season, 25 goals and 69 points. Has really helped their power play. Terrific at moving his feet along the boards. He's a great boardsman, and he's playing on the line with Todd Ellick and Gaetan Duchesne.
Face off of the Detroit zone. Greg Johnson is replaced in there by Darren McCarty. McCarty and Ellick. Ellick controls it into the corner. Alf Dolan, who always does good work along the boards, comes away with it, but can't get the shot away. Colbert trying to do some forechecking and force a turnover. And here's Colbert. Dish off to McCarty. And McCarty is bodied off by Peterson. McCarty wanted a penalty, but Van Hellemond says play on. Bouncing puck. Finally cleared out of the zone there by Vlastimil Krupa. Here's Markel. Now takes a hard hit from Airy well after he got rid of that puck. Herbe behind his net gives it away. Oh, Artur Herbe very lucky as he gave it right to the stick of Kozlov. Last minute of play here in the first period. And the sound you hear in about a minute, Darren, will not be cheers for the home team as they leave the ice. Fedorov sends Kozlov down the slot. Kozlov shoots. Herbe to save. Artur Herbe with a save of the game so far.
What a great save using his right foot on a very tricky Kozlov.
Penalty coming up on the Red Wings. And oh my goodness, Fedorov went headhunting. That could be a major. He flat out went headhunting against Jason Moore. That's a vicious penalty by Sergei Fedorov. Don't know what precipitated it. I haven't seen him lose it like that, Darren, all year.
Oh, he came across hard with a cross check right to the head of Jason Moore, and it was already the Red Wings that were going to be shorthanded because of a penalty being called. And in the back, a right shot by Moore, and a right paw by Fedorov as well. And that was going to be the call right there, the roughing. And there's the cross check. Oh man, that's a vicious hit by Fedorov.
It is.
He'll be fortunate to be staying in this contest.
Can you imagine? Well,
that's the last thing the Red Wings need, is their big guy losing their composure like that in such a crucial hockey game. But just before that, Kozlov had just an outstanding chance, busting through the middle, trying to go into the forehand. Now Kozlov takes it from the backhand to the forehand, and just a great save by Herbe, anticipating that with his right pad. And again, late in the period, obviously that would have been a huge boost for the Detroit Red Wings if they would have been able to nullify that 2-goal deficit, make it 2-1. Kozlov was nullified.
Well, they first flashed up 4 minutes on the penalty clock, which frankly didn't surprise me, although it didn't enlighten the crowd here, didn't make them happy. Now they've changed that to a 2-minute penalty on Sergei Fedorov. Maybe they called 4 on Fedorov and 2 on the San Jose Sharks. This is a dangerous play, Darren.
Oh, goodness, there's an intent to injure in that situation, and clearly without anybody around, they'd already had an altercation. They should have both gone on for roughing to begin with. And somehow, well, I don't understand this, because if he only got 2 minutes for cross-check, now everybody's standing up at the penalty box, and I'm not sure, nobody in for San Jose, but there was already going to be a penalty called for roughing on Fedorov. The hand was up from Andy Van Hellemond.
Well, Moore has been called 2 minutes for roughing, so he's been assessed a penalty. And Fedorov gets 4 minutes for cross-checking, so it's a 2-minute power play for San Jose. Coming up in our first intermission, the Dodge Intermission Report, we'll have a look at the Canucks Flames preview, their series. They're going to a 7th game tonight in Calgary, and a wrap-up of the first round of the Eastern Conference, and what great goaltending we had in the Boston-Montreal series and the New Jersey series as well. There is more. He's in the box, but he's only in there for 2. Fedorov's in there for 4.
The puck went all the way in the offensive zone, and there was no whistle being called. I thought the initial one was going to be on Fedorov, but I guess Andy Van Hellemond, they both go off, and then Fedorov gets that extra 2 minutes for cross-checking.
Well, I agree with you, Darren. Sergei Fedorov is lucky to be in this game because that is a vicious, vicious hit. And it may have been...
he knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. He came across hard, and...
We don't need that in this game. We just don't.
There's a lot of things. A lot of roughing things go on, though, and it's hard to keep it inside, Tom. But in this kind of situation for Fedorov, they they need him on the ice. They don't need him in the penalty box.
Yeah. You hear it all the time, keeping our focus. Loose puck in front. They score! Chris Draper scores with 12.8 seconds left in the period, and another Octopus has hit the ice.
Well, if the Red Wings needed a spark, this was clearly it. 12 seconds left on a giveaway. Draper, an innocent-looking backhand. That puck was on end, and somehow it eluded Hervé up through the armpit on the right-hand side through the blocker in the body. Just an innocent-looking tap-in. Great perseverance, though, by Sean Burr and by Draper. Draper's a speedy player, anticipated the play, and again the second one crawls onto Joe Louis Arena ice, and then they're painting it red here. All the crowd.
Look at the size of that squid.
It's got some braids on it.
Get that fish a haircut. Well, actually, 3 different octopi came on the ice. And did that change the mood of this crowd or what? An innocent-looking play, a giveaway in the San Jose zone, and a goal.
And Fedorov in the penalty box.
Yeah, that's right.
Short-handed goals, specialty teams are so important. Chris Draper gets his second goal of postseason play.
That'll stun the San Jose Sharks. Let's see if they lose a little bit of composure. I think it's a good thing for the Sharks that the end of the period is coming up in 2 seconds, and Sean Burr just buries one of the Sharks. That's Krupa, and Chris Draper getting his temper going. But that was Sean Burr who buried Krupa, and there is Chris Draper, who's got to be a happy young man. Chris, that's it. Put the foul card back in. You're on TV. The period has ended. The referee, Andy Van Hellemond, trying to make sure that cooler heads prevail here. But Sean Burr got cranked up and gave a perfectly hard and legal hit at the end of the period.
Well, Sean Burr's line has been doing that the entire period, really lifting them up. We should take a look at one of the keys to the San Jose Sharks, Johan Garpenlov, a former Detroit Red Wing.
Garpenlov and Makarov for San Jose. It was 2-0 until lightning struck in the last 13 seconds. Chris Draper has made this a 2-1 game after one. Let's go to Steve Levy and Barry Melrose. Steve?
All right, Tom, thanks very much, and welcome back, everyone. 2 hockey phrases you hear all the time. First goal is so important, and never get a goal scored against you in the final minute. We saw both. San Jose got the first goal, they got the second goal, but Detroit counters with a goal in the final minute.
No, unbelievable play. Those things kill you, and it's good that the period ended right there. San Jose played a perfect period for 19 minutes and 48 seconds or whatever, but they all fell asleep. Arthurs fell asleep, and the 2D fell asleep on that last goal. So it'll be interesting how they all recompose themselves and come out.
Coming up on the new Dodge Intermission Report, more thoughts from Barry Melrose, scores and highlights. The Canucks are on the board. We'll show you how they scored right after this.
NBA Showdown 94 for Sega Genesis and Super NES. If it's in the game, EA Sports. It's in the game.
America West asks, what would it be like to get low fares and great service?
It's like a long-lost uncle left you $1 million tax-free.
Like meeting a gorgeous hunk and discovering he's your next-door neighbor.
Hey, stop dreaming and start flying. At America West, we not only have low fares, our frequent flyer program, Flight Fund, can get you free trips all over the world.
Hurry, here I come.
America West, low fares and the respect you deserve.
It's like having your cake and eating it, too.
Where in the world would you go if there were no Las Vegas? What other place will you ever find where you can spend the entire day teeing off, stepping out, or just winding down? And all night really living it up? Only in Las Vegas.
There's a big change taking place in the world of soft drinks. It's not a new product, or a new flavor, or a new name, or even a new package. It's a whole new way to look at soft drinks. Diet Pepsi is introducing freshness dating. From now on, you'll see a date printed on the bottom of every Diet Pepsi. It's a date that guarantees your Diet Pepsi is delivering the taste you love at the absolute peak of freshness. It's all about giving our customers what they want.
Freshness dating from Diet Pepsi. It'll change the way you look at soft drinks.
Airbag, seat belts, and anti-lock brakes, child safety seats, careful driving, and a set of Michelins.
FIFA International Soccer for Sega Genesis. If it's in the game, EA Sports. It's in the game.
Tonight's first intermission report is presented by the New Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation.
And welcome back, everyone, to the New Dodge Intermission Report, along with the head coach of the Los Angeles Kings, Barry Melrose. I'm Steve Levy. The game you're enjoying, and it's a real good one. After one period of play, San Jose, those Sharks, have a 2-1 lead over the Detroit Red Wings at Joe Louis. The other Game 7 that is going on right now has Vancouver and Calgary. The team that has scored the first goal in each of the games has won that game, every game of this series. Highlights of this one, Calgary's period. It's his 5th of the playoffs and a 1-0 Calgary lead. And in this particular game, we already talked about how important San Jose, Detroit, that first goal would be there. How important, is it as important as that other game?
Not as important. I think they're going to be sparring a little bit. One goal might not win it, but Thero Fleury is the heart and soul of Calgary. He just does it every night. He's their Gilmore, he's their Roenick, whatever. He's a great, great player. If they're going to win, he's got to be the guy that's going to do it, and he has already. All right,
Vancouver again. The point being they're playing in Calgary, the key 7th game here. Now, there is some history here. Vancouver has already won 2 of the 3 games they've played in Calgary. Highlights of some of the earlier victories. In Game 1, Cliff Ronning got his own rebound, put it by Mike Vernon, and that started an onslaught. Again, this is on the road, Game 1 of the series. Trevor Linden picks off a pass, goes back in on Vernon the other way, and scores, put him up 4-0. Vancouver went on to win 5-0. Imagine opening a series on the road and shutting out the home team. They did just that. In Game 5, Vancouver was down 3-1, found a way to stay alive, and then in overtime, Jeff Courtnall beat Vernon on the high glove side to give them an overtime win, 2-1. So how important is the home ice here? Everybody says home ice in the 7th game that important. Well, they've already won 2 of 3 in Calgary.
Home ice in the 7th game is not important. When we went into Toronto last year, that wasn't a factor at all. Both teams are ready to go. You played each other so many times. You know what it's going to take to win. It's going to be goaltending, and it's going to be players like Fleury and Bure and Linden are going to be the guys that decide. Home ice means nothing.
Okay, fair enough. We will keep you posted again. Calgary leading Vancouver 1-0. They're still playing the first period, and after one in our game, San Jose leads Detroit by a score of 2-1. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the action in the Eastern Conference. They are down to 4 teams, the Boston Bruins being one of them. Their next opponent, the New Jersey Devils. We'll take a look when we continue on the New Dodge Intermission Report.
During the Dodge National Minivan Sale, there are even more reasons to love Caravan. In fact, depending on which Caravan and which options you pick, you could save up to $2,600 on the minivan that already exceeds 1998 car safety requirements. The Dodge National Minivan Sale, the place to go for people who don't know when to stop. Number 1 from day one, Dodge Caravan, America's best-selling minivan.
Hundreds of miles to the north and 30 degrees south of zero lies Canada, blasted by wind, buried by snow, and filled with ice. Molson Ice. Ice brewed by North America's oldest brewery to be a few degrees colder, a few degrees bolder, yet smooth as ice. Molson Ice, from the land where ice was born.
Pick up the phone for the latest sports news from ESPN all day, every day.
95 cents per minute. Call 1-900-976-ESPN.
And welcome back, everyone, to the new Dodge Intermission Report. After one period of play in Detroit, those Sharks lead the Red Wings by a score of 2-1. They now have 11 minutes left in the first period in Calgary, and the Flames have a 1-0 lead over Vancouver. As far as the Eastern Conference is concerned, the matchups are already set. 4 teams are still alive. We knew about the Capitals and the Rangers a couple of days ago, but only because of 2 thrilling Game 7s last night did we get our final matchup, Boston and New Jersey. Highlights of the Game 7, we begin with Boston and Montreal, of course, Waugh and Casey. How about Glenn Murray? Didn't even look at the net and scores the goal for the 1-0 lead. And then something you never see, folks, Waugh, the soft goal, rolls across the line. That gave Boston a 2-0 lead. Did Fred Knipscher ever think he would score in a big spot against Patrick Waugh? I don't think so. But that made it 4-0 in favor of the Bruins. And John Casey didn't get a whole lot of attention because of Waugh down at the other end. But Casey was there to make the big stops for the Bruins. And then, of course, Raymond Bourque, the captain, sealed it all, sending Boston to a 5-3 win. They will travel to Jersey for Game 1. Afterwards, our Al Morganti talked it over with the captain of the Bruins, Ray Bourque.
It's always a great thrill. 7 games and the 7th one in the Garden. And, you know, we've worked so hard all series long, and it's paid off because we never gave up. We're down 3-2, went in there, won a big game, came back at home, and made it to Cyprus.
So that's how the Bruins got there. How did the Devils get there? More goaltending. Martin Brodeur and Dominik Hasek. Watch the save. Most important save of the series, robs Dave Hannon. So instead of a 2-0 game, the Devils were able to bounce back only down by 1. Bruce Driver able to tie it, beating Hasek on the power play to make it 1-1. Claude Lemieux all on in front, bang, like that. It's in the net. Lemieux, a saber killer. John Buckler knows it is 4th of the series, and then Buffalo had all sorts of opportunities down at the end to advance and score the goal. But underneath it all was Martin Brodeur, and underneath him was that puck, and the Devils hang on for the victory. So here's the way it shakes out in the East. We are down to 4 teams. The Rangers and Capitals on ESPN 2 tomorrow night. And of course, the New Jersey Devils and the Boston Bruins will go at it on ABC. We'll see that tomorrow afternoon. Season series, flat out even. Each club winning 2, each club losing 2. Boston won the only meeting 4 games to 3. 1988, that was the big Jim Schoenfeld series when Shoney led the Devils into playoff contention. The thing about this series coming up, Boston and New Jersey, to me is a completely different series than the 2 series these clubs are coming off.
Yeah, as I mentioned, the only thing similar between the 2 teams, Montreal and New Jersey, is they both have French Canadians for coaches. Jersey's a very big physical club. They've got offensive weapons, many more than Montreal had. They're sprinkled throughout. Lemieux, Richer, Stevens, Niedermeyer. Boston's going to have to check a lot more guys, pay a lot more attention than those guys. They got to get great goaltending. Brodeur's been playing great. One thing is not mentioned, though, Casey went to the Stanley Cup Finals 2 years ago with Minnesota, and he's not getting a lot of ink about that. This guy can win, and he outplayed Patrick last night. Now was the key to the win.
All right, something else to look forward to in this series. It seemed to me that Boston maybe pushed Montreal just around a little bit physically. I don't think that's going to happen against the Devils. They're a tough unit.
No, Boston and Montreal are 2 small clubs. They're not big physically. They play very hard, which is a tribute to Brian Sutter and Tommy McVie. But the teams that they're facing now is a big physical club. 6'1", 208 pounds for Jersey. Boston's only 6 feet, 194. That doesn't seem much when you see the numbers side by side, but don't forget that's sprinkled over 25 guys. And Jersey's got a couple of tiny players like Corey Millen to bring that average down. Jersey's a big physical club.
I want to update one other thing. Pavel Bure has scored a goal. And so now they are 1-1, Vancouver and Calgary remaining in that first period. Well, in our game, the game you are enjoying here on ESPN, it's a 2-1 game. San Jose 2-1. Why? Well, one reason is Artur Zerbe, the stop there on Ray Shepard. Second period action is coming up in just a bit on National Hockey Night.
At Jiffy Lube, we understand that some people like to change their own oil. They want to save money. But when you think about the time it takes to buy new oil, get out the tools, do the work, properly dispose of the old oil, and clean up, well, just think about it. And then think about going to Jiffy Lube for your next oil change.
We got experience. Jiffy Lube.
For quality products like Pennzoil and quality service, go to Jiffy Lube and ask for Pennzoil.
She loved the chili. It didn't love her. He loved the fries. They didn't love him. She loved the meatloaf.
You'll love the Tums. Tums has calcium.
Yes, Tums has calcium. Original Rolaids has calcium and magnesium. These have aluminum and magnesium.
Tums helps knock out heartburn and gives you calcium.
Something my body needs anyway. I love that.
Calcium-rich Tums.
It could only come from here. A land forever frozen. Perfectly pure. And the home of ice. Molson Ice. Ice brewed in Canada by North America's oldest brewery. To be a few degrees colder, a few degrees bolder, yet smooth as ice. Molson Ice. From the land where ice was born.
It still bugs me that I waited to try Old Spice High Endurance just because I thought all deodorants worked the same. Dumb. This proves it's the best. Better than the leading stick. It evaporates less quickly. It also lasts longer. Protects better. You can't ignore that. Or this guarantee. Try it. If you don't think it's the best, call 1-800-PROVE-IT, and they'll buy you a stick of yours. You gotta figure anyone that serious about deodorant deserves a serious shot. Come on, take the High Endurance Challenge from Old Spice. I did.
Sports Center now at new times, 6:30 and 11 p.m. weekdays.
Time hero scores the goal to put them up 2-1. Vancouver has the lead with 8 minutes to play in that first period. In our game as well, also, after one, a 2-1 score, the surprising Sharks are up. Second period, up next.
I want a truck I can drive.
Oklahoma. Fowler Toyota's low monthly notes just got lower because 5.99% is in effect.
Special 5.99 from local, state, and national lending institutions.
5.99% for up to 60 months on every Toyota car, every Toyota truck. 5.99%, but it's this week only. Exclusively at Fowler Toyota on the magnificent mile of cars in Norman.
There are strict laws about truth in advertising, so believe us when we tell you that Arby's new roast chicken Santa Fe sandwich with rich Santa Fe sauce really is under 300 calories. You can believe us, even if it looks like a big fat lie. The roast chicken Santa Fe, one of the light menu sandwiches, only $1.99, only at Arby's.
ESPN's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by the new Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. By Molson Ice from Canada, the land where ice was born. And by Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. And if you're a hockey fan in Detroit or the suburbs, where you want to be is Joe Louis Arena. But if you're a Detroit Red Wing fan, you're worried because San Jose leads it 2-1 after one. Tom Mees and Darren Pang with you back at Joe Louis Arena. Here's the first goal in the first minute of play. And the Sharks win it quickly, 1-0.
Karpelov with that goal. Then Makarov coming in on the backhand. Now he goes an innocent-looking shot along the ice, and a goal that clearly Chris Osgood should have had. He whiffed on the stick. Now, right now we've got Arthur Zerbe late in the period. He's going to play this puck out and try to help out his defenseman. Unfortunately, it backfires. This pass is a little high and hard, and Ozelinch is the guy. Here's where the puck is supposed to go this way. Instead, it's out front, right out front to the side of Draper. Now Draper follows through with a backhander. This clearly gives the Detroit Red Wings a ton of momentum. But just before that, Fedorov, I don't know what happened behind the play. All they did was collide. Fedorov wasn't happy. That is a vicious cross-check, which should have cost Fedorov the game. But what happened was Fedorov got a cross-checking penalty, a 2-minute minor, and Jason Moore and Fedorov also got 2 roughing penalties as well.
Well, the first period statistics, nary a power play opportunity officially because we had some 4-on-4 play. However, the Sharks will be on the power play earlier here in the second period. Actually, I think there was a power play opportunity at the end there. Those statistics weren't completely correct. Shots on goal 9-5 in favor of the Detroit Red Wings. So Fedorov remains in the penalty box. At the end of the first period, Alec of San Jose and Coffey of Detroit, that was the scrum at the end. They got each 2 minutes for cross-checking.
Right.
So they'll cool their skates for the first 2 minutes here of the period. It is a 5-on-3 situation, a 4-on-3 situation right now for the San Jose Sharks.
Actually 5-on-4 with what has just transpired. Confusing because it all happened in the end, but the Sharks will go on their first power play of the game.
2-1 San Jose. The Sharks on the road. First playoff appearance ever, trying to do what many people felt was impossible. Derail the Detroit Red Wings, the highest scoring team in the National Hockey League. Makarov has it taken away, but gets it back to Norton. Norton over to Sanders Ozolin. Makarov, Larionov, Ozolin, 54 seconds to go. Ozolin right into the chest protector. Lies good. Oh, bodies are colliding. It's Steve Trason knocking down Johan Garpenlov.
Norton's shot from the left point was clearly too high, and in those types of situations, as a defenseman, it's probably best to keep it down so a goaltender can't control the rebound. Osgood, though, got a good grip on the rebound. Now, Norton has the shot. Now, he does have to try to get it up above Draper, who's killing the penalty and trying to shut down that shot. Nice protection by the Red Wings. Jason hammering down Garpenlov. But again, the puck got up a little bit too high on Norton. Probably not the choice that he would prefer. And Osgood does a nice job of corralling it. You see Jason and Garpenlov taking care of business right in front of the net.
Face off in the Red Wings zone to the right of Chris Osgood. 50 seconds now to go in the extra 2-minute minor to Sergei Fedorov. Sharks trying to take advantage of Fedorov's lack of judgment late in the first period. And Detroit ices it down to Artur Zerbe. 30 seconds left to go on the Shark power play. This is Igor Larionov. O'Donnell sticks it to the corner, but Konstantinov is there. He avoids the hit from Makarov. Now Makarov behind the net. Yzerman is there to take it away and clear the zone.
Good play by Steve Yzerman, killing off the penalty, but Makarov again trying to go right up the middle. Boy, he's the magician with the puck, and he does the obvious, and so often it works. On that case, Yzerman read it perfectly.
Jamie Baker carries in. Fedorov will be out in 2 seconds, and Chason has it. The penalty is over. McCarty was serving the extra 2 minutes, so he'll leave the box. Herbe still has it. I thought he was going to hang on for a face-off, but no. Loose puck at center, Chris Draper. Dumps into the zone. McCarty gives the right shoulder to Krupa. Boy, Krupa's a big guy, but he's drawn a lot of hits in this hockey game so far. Puck at center. Sean Burr with it for Detroit. Frank Johnson. He'll skate in, but he's 2-on-3. Johnson pulls up, waits for help, takes the shot himself, and Irving has a quick rebound, but Cicerelli goes wide. Here's Kozlov. Kozlov in the slot. He won't shoot. Kozlov behind the net, the wraparound, and Irving saw it coming. Konstantinov with a drive, and it's blocked by the defense. Another shot. Irving the save. It's loose. They score!
He's been good in the opening portions of this contest. He's had a couple of scoring chances. Again, with the traffic in front, Bob Airy had just made a terrific block for the Sharks. But the rebound comes through on Irbe after the initial save. Johnson does some dirty work, and it's Kozlov that sneaks around on the backhand and taps it on into the empty net.
Well, they're blaring over the PA system the rhythm and blues song, I Feel Good. And the Red Wings have got to feel great after they dug themselves a 2-goal hole. They're now back in it. And yes, another squid hit the ice, or octopus, if you will.
Again, though, the speed of the Detroit Red Wings, their transition game and speed, that's been their asset all year long. Kozlov with the initial play on the backhand, nullified by Irbe. Konstantinov the first shot, but you know, he stuck with the rebound after Airy had already blocked it, and then Kozlov taps her home on the backhand.
And Greg Johnson and Dino Cicerelli doing yeoman work in front, bothering Artur Zerbe. The official on that is Kozlov and Konstantinov at 2:36.
Yeah, you're right, though. Cicerelli should get a whole lot of credit again in the face of Irbe. It's the intention of many, many teams in the playoffs when no goaltenders can get hot, and you try to get in front of them as often as possible.
So San Jose and Detroit tied at 2. Who's going to grab momentum next? Stay with us. Game 7 on ESPN. All the marbles on the table now. Yzerman in the corner. Primo's in front, but Yzerman is bumped off. And for San Jose is Pat Balloon. Balloon has it poke checked away by Chason. And Steve Yzerman throwing a tough body check. Here's Shepard to Primo. Survey to save. One thing I've noticed about Archer Zerbe, he does give up rebounds, doesn't he?
Well, he tries to get him in a position to stay up and square with the shooter, and yeah, quite frankly, they bounce off those big pillars of his. And on that situation again, shot by Primo, Irbe with the save, but a big rebound.
Well, Keith Primo got a good shot away on Irbe, and he had to be tough.
Well, after Yzerman made a hit on Whitney, then the Shepard all the way over to Primo. Primo with a quick shot, trying to go short side on the stick side. Nobody to clear that rebound. Jamie Baker ended up firing it down the other end of the ice. Primo, as you had said, look at that eye. The players are just so beat up in playoffs, and there's so many hidden injuries. High-low shots, low on Irbe, they're going 10 times. High twice, and they've scored on both times on the high side. I mean, Irbe covers the low part so well. The contention is that a guy's lily should go high. I don't believe in that whatsoever. But I believe with Irbe, the way he goes down, that he's empty from that area.
Well, the Red Wings buzzing around again in the Shark zone, but Karpinov carries out. He's double-teamed and fights through it. Johan Karpinov trying to center. He's tied up. And finally, Chason sweeps it aside to center. Karpinov did a nice job there trying to create a scoring play. I think this is where the young Sharks are going to have a challenge here, as we're going to have a penalty called by Andy Van Hellemond on Detroit.
When we introduced the Dodge National Minivan Sale, we knew people would like getting great option discounts on the minivan that already exceeds 1998 car safety requirements, just like they've always enjoyed air at no extra charge with the Caravan Family Value Package. But when people hear that their savings can total $2,600, well, we're taking appropriate measures. Number 1 from day one, Dodge Caravan, America's best-selling minivan.
Hey, the Miss Perfect pageant.
Yeah.
We're watching hockey.
Pageant. Hockey. Let's watch both.
Miller Lite presents the Miss Perfect Face-Off.
Okay, Bob, Miss Georgia goes to the corner. She pays the price. Here's the puck coming loose. No shot. She's gone.
Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste and less filling, you can combine anything.
Oh, that'll be sashing. 2 minutes for Miss Congeniality.
Bad call. Good beer.
Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this?
Jeff Norton sits in the penalty box for San Jose, an elbowing penalty at 3:48, and now the Sharks, your tempting fate, their poise is going to be tested here.
Sure will, and the power play of Detroit on home ice, 25%, third best this year in postseason play.
The San Jose Sharks, again in the year, not anybody gave them a chance to make the playoffs. When they made the playoffs, nobody gave them a chance to give Detroit a series. Well, here we are in the 7th game, and we're tied at 2, but the Red Wings are coming on. You can feel it. Yzerman keeps it in the corner. Detroit power play has Cicerelli out there with Lidstrom, Coffey, Yzerman, and Primo. They'll make that Fedorov. Fedorov is out there. Fedorov.
That was the stick of Duchesne on Fedorov.
He fell over the stick of Duchesne, but Van Hellemond says that's not a penalty. I'm not going to call it.
Duchesne came up with a high stick, and it looked like it went off the shoulder of Fedorov and just flipped him. And that's when Fedorov went down.
Here's Yzerman on left wing. Comes around for Primo. Cicerelli back to the point, but Paul Coffey wasn't in the right place. Here's Fedorov getting attention on the Red Wing bench.
He's taken a beating so far in this playoff. Left in the last game, but returned in the 3rd period with a bad leg.
Slava Kozlov dumps in. 50 seconds left on the Norton penalty of San Jose. Larionov does a good job clearing the zone. Larionov takes it away from Primo.
Is he good or what?
Yeah, or
Larionov is so intelligent with the puck, and he's able to poke check and still control it. Man, is he having a great year and a great playoff for San Jose.
You're not one of the dominant players in the Central Red Army team without being talented. Just think of that, Makarov and Larionov and those guys.
Oh, terrific. Now, some of the pluggers, so to speak, for the San Jose Sharks would definitely be Duchesne, Gaetan Duchesne, and his stick right now as the Red Wings are on the power play. There it is, the blade of his stick right up high around the right ear, right eye section of Fedorov, and he fell down. And you know, you didn't see it, but Duchesne right away sort of had his arms up like, hey, I didn't mean to do that.
Yep.
And Andy Van Hellemond, I'm not sure if he even saw what happened.
No,
Fedorov just sort of fell over, sort of timbered over, and fell to the ice, and Fedorov then went right to the bench. But it looks like he's okay. Near the end of the regular season, he also took a clip up high, and he was very fortunate that didn't get him right on the eyeball.
I don't think Andy Van Hellemond saw that. It's impossible for any referee to see everything that goes on out there, and that happens so fast, I just don't think he saw it. 25 seconds to go in the Norton penalty. 2-2 hockey game. Red Wings scored in the last 13 seconds of the first period, and early here in the second to tie it up. Primo at center. Boy, he's imposing, all 6'5" of him, and offside is Ray Shepard. With 10 seconds to go in the Detroit power play. Coming up tomorrow, exclusive live coverage of Major League Baseball on ESPN. Sunday Night Baseball featuring Mo Vaughn and the Boston Red Sox, Tim Salmon and the California Angels. That's exclusive national coverage tomorrow night at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. Red Sox and Angels. And the feeling on the Shark bench, you have to wonder what's going through a team that hasn't had a lot of playoff, in fact, no playoff experience until this year.
You see the number 34 on the side. That's in honor of Mike Coleman, who passed away, and he was a member of the farm club of the San Jose Sharks, the Kansas City Blades. And in honor of him, they put that number 34 on the left side of their helmets.
Mike Coleman tragically killed in an automobile accident not too long ago. We have a lot of viewers in Kansas City watching tonight, rooting for the San Jose Sharks. A lot of these players on the team, including Arthur Zerbe, one-time members of the Kansas City Blades.
Kevin Constantine, the head coach that year.
A couple of years, he won an IHL title there in Kansas City. Red Wings were closing in for a shot in the slot, but it eluded them, and the penalty is over, and teams are back at even strength. Garpenloff at center for San Jose. Burr for Detroit. Draper poke checks it away from Larionov. Here comes Lidstrom in front. The short side save, and the glove save now by Irbe, who holds on for the faceoff. 13:28 to go in the second.
Nicholas Lidstrom moving in on the offensive zone. Lidstrom's known as that type of player, and he's been paired with Paul Coffey, and that's been a great influence for number 5 of the Red Wings. Sees a little bit of room, goes to the back end, figures, hey, what the heck? Why don't I fire one on net and see if something doesn't happen or does happen? And Irbe is able to not only lose his balance, but grab it with his mitt. But Nicholas Lidstrom, as I said before, a couple of years ago, he had the best plus-minus in the National Hockey League. He was a runner-up to Pavel Bure for Rookie of the Year. San Jose just one shot on goal in this second period. They're sort of on their heels, but I think you have to attribute a lot of that to the momentum and the emotion of the very fast and talented Detroit Red Wings.
Face-off now to San Jose zone to the left of Arthur Zerbe. Fedorov will take it against Todd Ellick. And it ends up in the corner for San Jose Peterson. But not out. Cartner with a drive, and Irbe stick save to the corner. Terry Cartner let her rip. Peterson again for San Jose. He's bumped off, and Ellick tries to clear, can't do it. Cicerelli in the corner. Dino Cicerelli never stops working when he's out there. Fedorov to the backhand, and Irbe will cover up in a slide. 13:02 to go in the second. Game 7, tied at 2.
East of the Texas Hill Country in Austin, there's a place that just won't let you go home hungry. It's called Threadgill's. And here you might find yourself behind a great big chicken fried steak, a mountain of red beans and rice, or even a microphone. So if you go, bring your appetite for a good time and your Visa card. Because Threadgill's might let you take the stage, but they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
On the one hand, we gave it a wider stance for better handling, a computer-modeled suspension, and specially designed 16-inch tires. So, a pair of these could come in handy. On the other hand, we've thoughtfully designed each knob, button, and switch to be easily operated while you're wearing a pair of these. new Dodge Ram, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
Welcome back to Joe Louis Arena. Sergei Fedorov, so talented, but he likes to go to the backhand. Behind the net, you think he's going this way? Not a chance. He's coming back out that way, right to his strong side, and that is the backhand. So Fedorov follows through right now, and he continues on, and Irbe gets a stick on it, but Fedorov, he just loves going to that backhand.
And the faceoff will occur to the right of Arthur Irbe as we resume action. Sheldon Kennedy. Jamie Baker. Kennedy wins it back to Coffey at the point. His shot surprised Irbe, but it was well wide. Irbe looked after the puck was past him. The right stick side. Bob Airy, the Shark captain, tries to wrap around him. Oh, my goodness. Whitney had a whole net to shoot at, and he shot it over the top. Penalty call by Van Helleman. Ray Whitney will be seeing that chance in his dreams tonight. Paul Coffey has been whistled for the penalty. The Sharks will be going on the power play. Detroit fortunate they're not down again by goal.
It's going to be a holding penalty on Paul Coffey. Good pressure by San Jose, and an opportunity by Whitney on a sort of a loose puck that just sort of jumped his way, and I believe that puck was on end after Bob Airy on another nice little wraparound play. And as the play follows through, Coffey's going to grab a hold of him, but Whitney misses on that shot. The puck was rolling, and it got up a little too high on him. And there you see Coffey and Airy, they never stopped on one another. Coffey really just plain and simple never let go. So good call by Van Helleman, and San Jose will now go on their second power play of the game.
Coffey sits for two. You have Larionov, Garpenlov, Ozelich, Norton, and Makarov, the power play unit for San Jose. The faceoff is taken by Konstantinov. He dove, tried to draw a penalty, but Van Helleman is not fooled. Makarov to Larionov in front, and Garpenlov had an open net but couldn't get a stick on it. Ozelich, cross-ice pass. What a story. The San Jose Sharks tied at 2 in the 7th game of Detroit, and on the power play. Loose puck to the point to Norton. Waits and dumps it to Makarov. Norton keeps it in. Ozelich. Ozelich, like Arthur Irbe, a native of Latvia. This is Makarov. 1:15 to go on the Coffey penalty for Detroit. Here's Makarov closing in, winding up and hitting the leg of Konstantinov. Ozelich with a soft shot in on the goaltender Osgood. Ozelich again. Lets Berg go down, and he'll pass the other side. Shot taken by Norton. Hits traffic in front. Behind the net, Garpenlov back to the point to Norton. 50 seconds. Boy, the Sharks have had possession the entire power play in the Detroit zone. This is impressive. Sean Burr tries to clear it, and Draper will.
More of an emotional kill for Detroit and the fans here at Joe Louis. San Jose, though, with excellent puck movement. That just simply world-class athletes moving the puck around, and they did have a couple of chances for good, solid chances.
Well, the fans react to the Red Wings finally clearing the zone after spending more than a minute hemmed up in their own end, shorthanded. Now the Sharks come back. Ulf Dahlen is in deep. Primo tries to handle him, can't do it. Dahlen in front. Osgood has to cover up with 8 seconds left on the Coffey penalty. Ulf Dahlen showing his strength that time with Primo on his back. He's still got a shot on goal.
Ulf Dahlen is so strong with his feet. He gets his feet working that sort of 10-2 position if you're looking at a clock. And he's able to use that strength, that mobility. See Dahlen taking it to the backhand, moving the feet, and never stopping. And then he goes all the way through and fakes the backhand, goes to the forehand. And Osgood is able to get that stick like so many goaltenders are doing now. The paddle of their stick along the ice, nullifying Ulf Dahlen.
Wow, another 7th game going on tonight is Chris Osgood. Skates nervously in front of his net. Vancouver, after one, has taken a 2-1 lead at Calgary. So the visitors playing well in the 7th game tonight.
7th game is supposed to be home ice advantage, but I just can't. More pressure on the home team.
Shot from the point. Taken there by Mike Rathje. Rathje again, or this is Peterson. I'm sorry, Peterson, I stand corrected. The penalty is now over. Coffey is out. So Peterson had a couple of chances. Didn't connect. Dahlen in the corner. Well, he lives along the boards in the corner. You're right there. He's a real pest back there. They're trying to play against him. Krupa pitching in now for San Jose. same on the right wing. Eisman finally intercepts. Dumps to center. And Coffey is taken down at center ice. Fans want a penalty, and they're going to get one this time. I think that was a good penalty because Paul Coffey was a stride away from going in on a break.
Paul Coffey was flying. He gets contact with that puck. He's flying from the blue line in. And Peterson's going to go off, and it's going to be a hold, but it looked like it was just sort of a contact trip. But nonetheless, Peterson can't get back in time, but that's normal. I mean, that's how fast Paul Coffey is. That's how great of a skater, a natural skater, one of the most gifted skaters the National Hockey League has ever seen. See, a little bouncing puck, looked like a Balata golf ball right there, and Peterson can't handle it on the one-timer, and stick right in between them. That's clearly a trip, not a hold.
What kind of golf ball?
It's a Balata. It's a wound golf ball that bounces just a little bit more than the other ones. I thought maybe it's close to golf season, but you know, now we've got a situation where the Detroit Red Wings, they've bounced back from a 1-0 deficit, a 2-0 deficit. Now they're back in this game. It's a 2-all game. They've just killed off a penalty to the San Jose Sharks. Now they've got a chance to really put a dent in the armor of San Jose and get these painted red fans really jumping here. Joe Louis.
So the Red Wings go on another power play. Kozlov behind the net. In the corner to the point to Lidstrom. He and Coffey are manning the points. We got Cicerelli and Fedorov and Kozlov out from the front line. Here's Coffey in deep. Herbe hugs the post. Fedorov! And he hits Jason Moore with a shot. Still loose in front of Herbe, and a whistle as they cover it up with 9:39 to go in the period. 1:38 in the Peterson penalty.
Wow, Cronin doing a nice job of trying to handle Cicerelli. Jamie Baker also back there killing off the penalty for San Jose. They need that kind of lift and the commitment from everybody with all the talent in the world in Detroit. Nice job as the shot never really got through. You see Duchesne collapsing. You see right there one of the defensemen, Jason Moore, going down, blocking his shot. Again, Cronin blocking his shot for San Jose. Every one of these guys are making a pure commitment to making sure that puck doesn't get on net. But Dino Cicerelli again and again and again, he gets hammered in front of the net.
And watch out for Cicerelli if you're shorthanded trying to kill off a penalty. He'll plant himself in front of that goal, and he'll take a licking, and he'll beat you more often than not. Kozlov in the corner. Now Cicerelli has it. Cicerelli has 5 goals in this series. Kozlov, the shot is wide by Coffey. Coffey again, still plenty of time on the Detroit power play. Minute 20. Fedorov, Kozlov. Centering pass, stick to side. Ozolinsh intercepted. Coffey. Fedorov, the one-timer. And Herbe can't control the rebound, but San Jose cleared.
That was a terrific save, though. Herbe with his blocker side. Solid save for Arthur.
Save that San Jose needed at that point in time. 50 seconds to go. The penalty to Peterson of San Jose. Coffey dumps in. Detroit trying to get some fresh bodies up front, but Coffey does a good job keeping the puck in the zone. Yzerman trying to center to Shepard. Loose puck. Coffey gets there first. Shepard behind the net. Intercepted by the Sharks, and carrying out is Rob Goodrow. On for a rare shift, he'll just dump it back to Osgood. 18 seconds to go on the Detroit power play. Primo on left wing. He elects to go behind the net. Yzerman double teamed in the corner. Chase on from the point. Well, why? The penalty is over, and the Sharks have killed off a big penalty.
Huge kill for San Jose. Very good. Solid commitment by everyone. Keeping the Red Wings on the outside, trying to clog up the middle, and Herbe only had to come up with one big save in that whole sequence.
Steve Chase on now as the teams are back 5 aside. Yzerman overskates a pass. Thornton behind his own net. And Darren McCarty took a tumble behind the San Jose net. Konstantinov in his own corner. Konstantinov. Sean Burr dumps in the corner. McCarty gives it to Burr. Todd Ellick has him lined up. McCarty's in all by himself. Ozelins for San Jose. Barbieri, a Stanley Cup winner in Pittsburgh, in his 11th year in the NHL. Markau with it for Detroit. This is Draper. Scored that big goal late in the first period. McCarty's onside. Takes the shot. And a bit of a stick save by Irving. And doing and eyeing here at Joe Louis Arena. Win or lose, I'm very impressed there by the Sharks in their first playoff series ever. First 7th game, obviously. Really handling the pressure, by and large, pretty well.
They're very composed. I mean, let's face it, Detroit is still only at 17 shots in this game.
Draper in front to Probert, and Irving has to cover up. They're roaring in Detroit. We're tied at 2.
When I found out I had cancer 2 years ago, I was really scared.
It was like walking into a black room and you don't know what's inside the room.
I knew that Ron and Adele's insurance would not cover the cost of the drug.
Where am I going to get the money to pay for these pills? Where?
For many years, Bristol Myers Squibb has been supplying their cancer medicines free to patients who qualify.
You got your pills.
If you have no health insurance or means to pay for cancer medicines, ask your doctor about the Bristol Myers Squibb Patient Assistance Program.
At Mathis Brothers, our selection of motion furniture is the best we've ever seen. Come in and let us show you one of these groups with recliners built right into the furniture.
Here's a sofa from Lane for only $3.99. It's a great price for a sofa alone, but it now includes 2 full recliners.
This sofa from Lane for $5.99 includes 2 fully reclining chairs, a fold-down table, and a storage drawer for those things you need to keep handy.
And finally, this Lane sectional is only $7.99 with 2 recliners and all the comfort you'd expect from Lane.
Select from these groups and over 50 others at Oklahoma's #1 furniture store, Mathis Brothers.
While the Red Wings were on their second power play, the key is Dino Ciccarelli in front of the goal, trying to tangle up any kind of momentum and any kind of shot, trying to get in the way of Artur Zerbe. Ciccarelli stays outside the perimeter. This is the only good scoring chance they had on this, and there was Ciccarelli. If there were to be a rebound, he was there for it, but Irbe made a great blocker save on the one-timer, and that was the only good scoring chance by Detroit.
Face-on control by Jeff Norton of the Sharks. Nice one-handed pass to Lariano. Trying to send Garpenlov in alone. Red Wings bottle that one up. Ozelins at center. Garpenlov dumps in. We reach the 6-minute mark of the second period. 6 minutes to go. Game 7. NHL Western Conference quarterfinals. San Jose and the Detroit Red Wings. Series tied at 3. The 7th and decisive game tied at 2. Garpenlov doing nice work in the Detroit zone now. Makarov comes in to join. It's taken back by Steve Yzerman. The captain of the Red Wings dumps into the left corner. Primo bats a one-time rebound. Yzerman goes for it after the save by Irving. Loose to the side of Irving. Primo and Yzerman, and now Shepard. And it's Makarov. And Garpenlov is watching the center.
They've been matching up that line. Yzerman's line up against Makarov and Larionov's line.
Ray Shepard at center. Dumps in. Red Wings will chase, but not come up with it. Barbieri. Kozlov and Jason Moore almost got in a little behind the play. Here's Fedorov. Tries to split the defense. Knocked off his feet by Sean Cronin. And Fedorov is down again. He's had a rough night. He was hurt, remember, in Game 6 here a couple of nights ago. Late in the game.
He returned in that game, but Cronin came across, and I believe that was a good hit by Cronin. Fedorov with a lot of speed. He's down. He is hurting.
Nicholas Lidstrom at center. Into the corner. Lastimil Krupa. Comes down to the Detroit end. Back to center. McCarty and O'Donnell by for it. It's like two boxers in a clinch. You're not going to get anywhere with those two. Peterson. Back to Krupa. 3:50 to go in the second period. Play slowing down a bit of late. The drama continues to build. Here's Todd Ellick. to Dolan. He faked the shot and then was knocked off balance. Sean Bird, fan favorite here in the Motor City. Dumps in for Draper. Comes back to center. Bird tries to send McCarty in, but it doesn't work out. Off the stick of Alex into the corner. Konstantinov wheels around his own net. Konstantinov dumps in, but nobody there to chase for Detroit.
I get the feeling San Jose really, Tom, at this point is kind of rope-a-doping themselves right now. They're in a good position. They're late in the second, and it's still a 2-2 game.
They're right where they want to be this late in the game. If you'd have told Kevin Constantine you'll be tied with about a period and 2 minutes to go, he'd take it. Darn right he would. And this Ozolin, surrounded by Red Wings, still gets by them into the corner. Who's going to make the great play? Who's going to make the careless play that may decide the series? That's why you should keep it where it is on ESPN tonight. Here's Eisenman into the San Jose zone. Harry in the corner. Pass goes to the crease. Primo is down, and he's getting up slowly, if at all. No penalty call by Van Helleman. Primo just now getting up. Nicholas Lidstrom couldn't control the pass. Keeps it in the zone, though. Eisenman swats at it. Eisenman off his stick. There's a lot of stick work going on down there.
Good poke check by Irbe, though, on the Eisenman wraparound.
Eisenman back the other way, tied up by Cronin, who takes him down. And Ozolin loses control of it. Shepard almost gave the Wings the lead.
What a sequence. Man, Eisenman's line's been on the ice for almost probably 2.5 minutes. And every time they tried to get out, the puck kept going to him.
Icing on San Jose. Back to Detroit in a moment.
Inside a contemporary sedan, you'd expect a driver's seat to be tuned for greater support. It would recline and have lumbar adjustments for even greater comfort. And in a car this thoughtful, you might even expect to find a convenient place from which to conduct business. But this interior can't be found in any car. A car just couldn't handle the workload. New Dodge Ram. Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
Hey, gourmet cooking.
Welcome.
Put the wrestling back on. Gourmet cooking. Let's watch both.
Noodle.
Miller presents Gourmet Wrestling.
They're cooking now, Bob. Here's the flip. The dip. And the whip.
Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste and less filling, you can combine anything.
Stick a fork in him. He's done.
What a pin. What a beer.
Great taste, less filling.
While we have a moment, let's see who the league leaders are. The Village Genuine Draft League leaders. Playoff goal scoring, Kurt Muller. His Canadiens eliminated last night. He's tied for the lead in the goal scoring. There's Lidstrom. Skates in and shoots and hits Irbe. Back to Lidstrom. Irbe saw that one, made a big save.
Good news for Detroit. Fedorov's back on the ice after taking a knee from Cronin.
Fedorov in the corner. Cicerelli just pokes it back to Kozlov. Teams are 5 aside. The Red Wings putting on pressure now. Irbe. Scott never got through to him. It's Cicerelli. Cicerelli still digging. He wanted a penalty, not going to get it.
Good effort by Krupa, the young 18-year-old defenseman for San Jose. Last-ditch poke check.
Oh, Coffey upended Irbe from behind, upending his stick as Irbe was trying to play the puck. Under a minute to go in the second period. Kozlov, rink wide. McCarty can't control. McCarty in front. Garfiloff covers up, and Kozlov loses his helmet. A lot of people losing their heads out there.
Yeah, I guess to take them suckers on your head.
Got to keep your head about you. Under 30 seconds to go in the period. Morton clears for San Jose.
Even though there's been a lot of pressure in San Jose's zone, they still have not been able to generate any good scoring chances. They credit to San Jose's sharp defense.
Chase on. 10 seconds to go in the period. Norton takes it away. 3 seconds in the period, and this will do it. Only one goal in the period. There's the guy who got it. Vyacheslav Kozlov has tied this game up at 2, but Artur Zerbe has stood tall in the San Jose net. Shots on goal in the game, 19 for Detroit, 12 for San Jose. Game 7, we're tied at 2. At least one more period to go, at least. Steve Levy, Barry Melrose, take it away.
All right, Tom, thanks. We'll get it back to you very shortly. Interesting, Barry. It's almost like a boxer getting saved by the bell. Maybe the Sharks were saved by the buzzer at the end of the second period. Although they're very fortunate to be tied 2-2 after 2.
If you had told San Jose Sharks they'd be tied 2-2 after 2 at the start of the night, they'd be ecstatic. They got to play better. They got to get attacking a little bit more. They got to get some pucks at Osgood, make him save it. But it's a perfect scenario. You're 2-2 going in the other team's building, third period. You got to win 1 to go on. It's a great situation for them to be in.
All right, it's a positive despite the fact they had a 2-0 lead, and they have seen that slip away. 2-2 there now after 2. There is another Game 7 going on. Score and highlight coming up. You know those Western Canadian hockey teams going at it. There's some hitting going on, including that one by Al McInnes. We'll be right back on National Hockey Night, ESPN.
Hundreds of miles to the north and 30 degrees south of zero lies Canada, blasted by wind, buried by snow, and filled with ice. Molson Ice. Ice brewed by North America's oldest brewery to be a few degrees colder, a few degrees bolder, yet smooth as ice. Molson Ice, from the land where ice was born.
What now? Who's Etienne?
Who cares? Come on.
Etienne fix everything. Who's Etienne?
He's a camel repairman.
What?
He's a mechanic.
You're kidding.
Hope he takes Visa. Oh, he does.
Visa Gold can get you cash more places worldwide than any other card, even American Express.
Etienne fix everything.
Visa Gold.
Before you try one of those trendy colored car waxes, consider this. Colored waxes contain dyes that can stain your car's finish. Presenting Rain Dance Light Car and Dark Car Formula Polish. Rain Dance Light has optical brighteners for a cleaner, brighter shine. Rain Dance Dark removes haze and film for a deeper, wet look shine. So choose Rain Dance Light Car Formula or Dark Car Formula, because your car is too young to die.
Fellow travelers, life's a journey. Our friends and colleagues, lovers and loved ones, is it all part of a bigger picture? What connects us to each other? Well, Mobile Link. Only cellular service that has Mobile Link makes it easy to connect with everyone, no matter where you are on that cosmic interstate, even if you don't know where you are.
Make sure your local cellular service has Mobile Link. Call 800-995-4000.
I need coffee.
Coffee. It's Jerry. He runs the Super 8 motel. He's like all their people, friendly and helpful. Can't be a relative.
Super 8. Super people, super prices at over 1,000 locations nationwide.
And welcome back, everyone, to our Stanley Cup playoff coverage here on ESPN. I'm Steve Levy. Detroit trying to avoid a second straight first-round KO in the game you're enjoying after 2. San Jose and Detroit, they are tied at 2. The other Game 7 going on tonight is in Calgary. The Flames and the Vancouver Canucks. Pavel Bure looking to end his score to make the stop. Right now, 14 minutes left. Vancouver has a 2-1 lead. Bonus coverage for you on ESPN. A little bonus coverage for you here on ESPN. It remains 2-1 Vancouver leading Calgary about midway through that hockey game. Some thoughts from Barry Melrose when we come back in just a little bit. 2-2 San Jose and Detroit as we're in the second intermission of that game on ESPN.
What can I do for you? So that's your hot new Grand Am V6 down there. Looks fun, Mark.
Pontiac's a blast to drive, all right. But it also makes a lot of sense.
Really?
Prices on imports like a Corton Camry are way out.
And Pontiac Grand Am's holding the line?
Thousands less. With airbag and ABS standard.
Well, shoot.
Don't mind if I do.
Hey, nice talking to you, man. Whoa!
We are driving excitement.
What you want is what you get.
Okay, so.
At McDonald's today.
Mr. Barnes, tell me about yourself.
Coming this Sunday, NASCAR racing and a chance to win ESPN's On the Pole contest. The winner will present the Busch Pole Award at the Brickyard 400, plus over 1,000 runner-up prizes. Watch the race Sunday for details on ESPN. Sponsored by Busch Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
And let's set you up for tomorrow. Here's the way it looks. The Eastern Conference semifinal, the game one, the Bruins and Devils from the Meadowlands on ABC, 1 o'clock Eastern and Pacific, noontime in the Central Time Zone. And then tomorrow night, game one of the other Eastern Conference semi, the Capitals and the Rangers open up their series. Note the start time, 8 o'clock Eastern, thanks to the Knicks playing in the afternoon. They push it back to 8 o'clock Eastern. It's game one, but it's on ESPN2. Third period. It's coming up next from Detroit.
When we started telling you what's wrong with David Walters' lottery law, Walter sent his lawyer to stop us. But you have a right to know. Millions could go to out-of-state companies without competitive bidding. Politics, not qualifications, could determine who gets a job. There's no limit on the salaries of lottery employees. Walters Lottery could borrow money, buy real estate, even fire people just for reporting corruption. No wonder Walters didn't want you to know. Lottery, maybe, but not this lottery.
International Golf Discount. When you need golf equipment, we've got it.
Spitball? Would you ever curse an ump?
No.
Would you ever charge a kid for an autograph? Would you ever grab yourself in front of millions?
Sunday Night Baseball, the Red Sox versus the Angels tomorrow, only on ESPN.
ESPN's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Smooth Busch Beer and easy drinking Busch Light.
Hey, Tom and Darren, hang on. 3-2 midway through that second. Tom and Darren.
Oh, the Flames, Steve, are hot all of a sudden, and it's not always the big guns who do the damage, is it? Ronnie Stern. Let's take a look at the only goal of the second period, Darren.
Created by speed and great footwork by Kozlov, busting through on his backhand. His first chance is eliminated. Herbe makes a good save on the second wraparound attempt. But as I said, all is a result. Now, meanwhile, you got a situation here where Konstantinov has the first shot blocked. You got to hand it to him for sticking with it. And he fires his second chance in here. Now, here's the key right here. The stick of Draper all over Krupa. Krupa's not able to get to the loose puck that's going to be right there. To the backhand, Kozlov goes. And that, of course, is the game-tying goal.
Well, Chris Osgood has only faced 12 shots in this game, and there's always the theory that for a goaltender to be at his best, Darren, he has to be into the game. He has to be fielding his share of shots. He hasn't fielded that many in this game.
Well, as Barry Melrose just told us, you've got to put the puck on net, and Herbe as well. Herbe's got a little bit more momentum, but neither one of these goaltenders has had a chance to dominate what has transpired so far in this game. So obviously a pivotal save is going to turn around this contest in a 2-2 game. Scotty Bowman, meanwhile, he's been through a ton of these sort of things. But, you know, I'm not sure, though, if you get used to this type of situation.
Tightening his tie a little bit. I'm sure his insides are churning, even though he's been through this a million times. Here we go. Game 7, period 3, tie score. With Darren Pang, I'm Tom Mees. Stanley Cup action can't get any better than this. Right here on ESPN. Who will move on? Who will go home? The Red Wings attacking. Sergei Fedorov round the net, and it goes to the crease with Cicerelli on the doorstep. Kozlov still without his helmet. I think he's got a Velcro, John. It keeps coming off. He just likes to show everybody those curly locks.
They're really after Jason Moore. Kozlov and Moore had a little one-on-one. No penalties called.
Norton clears the zone for San Jose. The San Jose Sharks, biggest one-season improvement in National Hockey League history. One of the better teams in the entire league the second half of the season. And everybody said, well, that's nice, but they'll be out in 4 or 5 against Detroit. Yes, again. What a year it's been for Kevin Constantine. Here comes Garpenlov to open the scoring. Makarov. Konstantinov is there for Detroit. Here's Chainsaw. Pulls up and centers to Primo. And Herbe is there. Eisenman leaves it for Chason, but Chason didn't read the play properly. Back the other way come the Sharks. A 3-on-2, a 4-on-2. Jeff Norton is in, he shoots, and Osgood got a piece of it. Ray Shepard clears the zone.
Turnover in one end results in another breakout situation by San Jose, and are they good at it? But Osgood was able to get a right pad on that puck before it deflected through his legs.
Here's Sean Byrne. It's a 2-on-2. Byrne Draper into the Shark zone. Byrne to the backhand, but he gives it away. As back-checking Duchesne was right there in the slot. Alt Dahlin calls this one into the stands. Face-off will be in the San Jose zone.
Well, Jeff Norton just had a glorious opportunity. Him and Ozelin just paired together, and they always fire up in the play, jumping in the offense whenever they get an opportunity. And this is a result of a situation where there's a turnover in their own zone. In San Jose's zone, a turnover leads to a 3-on-2 sort of break, and Norton moves it again. And it looked like Kartner might have got his stick on that shot and never did get through to Osgood. Again, you see the stick of Kartner, and yes, he deflects it wide. So Norton's shot goes wide. But again, Osgood not feeling that puck. San Jose trying to get it on net on a pretty good offensive play by Norton.
Interception by Sheldon Kennedy. Doing some nice work. Tries did Grace Johnson. Off over to the corner for Detroit. We'll see Todd Ellick when he knew Probert had the puck. He backed away. Wanted no part. Here's Probert again at center. Dahlin gives him a bump from behind. Here's Kennedy centering. Probert had his stick tied up by Peterson. At center ice for the San Jose Sharks is Todd Ellick. Dumps in the corner. Sheldon Kennedy is there for Detroit. Kennedy with a burst of speed. Intercepted at center by Coffey, who was upset. Detroit will go for line change. The tension continues to get greater and greater with every second. Cicerelli almost sent Fedorov in on a break. High score, Game 7, Stanley Cup playoff quarterfinal round. Nicholas Lidstrom. Kozlov to center. Sharks dump it out again, and Coffey for Detroit.
Again, good coverage by San Jose, blocking up the blue line, getting 3 or 4 men at least back there, and really forcing the Detroit Red Wings to circle the wagon, either that or dumping it back out.
Kozlov 2-on-1 with Cicerelli, and over Cicerelli's stick. Dino is ready to pull the trigger, but it hops over the blade. Karpinov offside is Lariano. 16-19 in regulation time.
Cowboy, still a modern-day hero, standing up for what's right as he rides across this land. He still earns every dollar to pass through his hands. So here's to the cowboy as he heads for the mountains. No place he'd rather be than right here. So come on along and head for the mountains of Bush.
Steve Levy back in our National Hockey Night. Calgary, they're on the power play.
Well, Neil Fleury has 2 of those 3 goals for the Flames.
I'm happy to say Barry Melrose loves Fleury, and Fleury's a little guy.
Well, now Barry has to figure out to get him with the LA Kings, you know. Right?
I was thinking I'd make a comeback for Barry.
Oh. Nice play back onto the San Jose zone. At center with it, Lariano, taken away by Burr. Makarov goes back in his own zone. 35 years young, Sergei Makarov. Taken away by McCarty. Ozelin to McCarty battling, or that Thornton and McCarty battling for possession. Makarov comes away with it. McCarty. Cross ice to Burr for the drive. Glove save by the cool Arthur Zerbe. Picked that one out of the air like a cherry off a tree.
piece of cake on that one. Nothing in front for Irbe, but Dino Cicerelli, as he moves down on his bench, he had a glorious chance just moments ago on the reverse angle. Kozlov on his off wing, looking to feed and feather this nice little pass, but it takes one too many hops right over the tape of Cicerelli. One bounce right before it. Right over the tape. Otherwise, Cicerelli had an open net.
Red Wings win the face-off, but it's taken by San Jose's Kruplo. Not to center. Todd Ellick races Martel for it. Now that bad back slams into the sideboard. Now giving it a go tonight. Spent 3 or 4 days a week in traction in a local hospital. Just so he's able to have his back frozen up in time to play. Primo. Over the stick of Shepard. All coffee with it. Back to Primo. Todd Ellick mucking and grinding in the corner. Primo comes away with it. Finds him in the drive. His traffic goes over the net. Eisenman missed the first 4 games of the series with a knee injury suffered in the final regular season game in Dallas. 14:40 to go, tied at 2.
Eisenman, of course, one of the key players for Detroit, but so far, in the course of the game, he's only had 1 shot on goal. That came in the first period.
Jason Moore taken back by Coffey. Fedorov takes a big hit from Moore. Those two just don't like each other very much. Either that or they have a way of bumping into each other.
Here we go again.
Yep, Fedorov the odd elbow to the ribs of Moore. Here comes Kozlov. He's dangerous. The seven pass and a save. Oh, a shot by Lindstrom. Arthur Zerbe ended up on his back, but the puck stayed out of the net. Here's Whitney back the other way, taken away. Cicerelli to the trailing Coffey. Look at him go. The shot by Fedorov. A save, Irbe.
Well, the edge in goaltending right now. Arthur Zerbe made some great saves, and Osgood hasn't faced a sniff in this third period.
Good point, Darren. You have to wonder, don't you? And it's not his fault. I mean,
no, first one for him will be very important, though. I'm sure he's anxious to touch that biscuit.
Detroit's doing a good job keeping the shots away from him. Ozelin. Oh, dangerous slot pass to Makarov. Lariat off at center. He's double teamed and taken away by Draper. High bouncing puck in the slot. Morton comes away with it for San Jose. This is Makarov. Lariat. Nice poke check by Darren McCarty from his belly. And McCarty with it at center. Larianov always has that stick on the ice. Broke up the play. Vladimir Konstantinov. Double teamed and shoots it right into the Shark bench. Look out. Those aren't the cheap seats, but they can be dangerous. Whistle stops play with 12:43 to go in the third. Still tied at 2.
One of the guys on San Jose's bench, though, looked like he might have taken that errant puck. He's bending over. I can't tell exactly who it is. But just before that, Kozlov again utilizing his speed. One-timer to Lindstrom. And a real good save by Irbe. And who's he have to contend with? Got to contend with Dino Cicerelli going in front of him, looking for a screen and a deflection. Cronin then hammered Cicerelli. Good end-to-end rush by Kozlov.
11 Canadians, 5 Americans, 3 Russians, 2 Latvians, 2 Swedes, and 2 members from the Czech Republic. And 25 bodies all pulling in the same direction. That's the San Jose Sharks. And Kevin Constantine, their coach, deserves untold credit. 35-year-old runs the show and has everybody pulling on the same page. That's tough enough to do when they all speak the same language, Darren. Peterson has it taken away. Detroit has Eisenman in front. Primo, though, can't get to it. Here's Shepard. And Irbe covers up on the soft shot by Shepard with Primo on the doorstep.
Again, Irbe smothering up the rebound. Not a very hard shot, but nonetheless, it got through. Any puck that gets through traffic can be a dangerous situation. Irbe comes up with a save, his 23rd shot of the evening, 21 of 23. Meanwhile, over on the bench, that was Makarov that took an errant puck, and he just had a towel by his mouth. And boy, that would be a huge loss for the San Jose Sharks. Karov, obviously an integral part of their... Well, it's a complicated offense when he's on the ice because of the way that they can maneuver with the puck in the offensive zone. I mean, for Detroit, that's the line that causes havoc, no question about it. So for Primo and the rest of the Detroit Red Wings, that is the one line.
Our Stanley Cup summary. Midway through the third period of Game 7, Calgary-Vancouver, the series tied at 3. But in the Game 7, last score we have 3-2 in favor of Calgary. Toronto moves on. They beat the Blackhawks 4-2. And it seems like a year ago that the Dallas Stars swept the St. Louis Blues aside, doesn't it? It was actually 6 days ago.
Well, their golf game has improved since that time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
A lot of time off, and that can help and that can hurt. You can lose an awful lot of momentum as well, but if there's any minor injuries, you have a chance to heal them up. Shots on goal, 4-1 Detroit in this third period.
And the key there, only one shot on goal on Chris Osgood of Detroit. And that, too, could be a double-edged sword, as we've already said. All right, Fedorov taking the face-off for Detroit. Still struggling for it, and sweeping it into the corner was Jamie Baker.
Baker's done a nice job on face-off for San Jose.
Captain Bob Barry at center. Barry cruises into the zone. Loses control of it. He tried to go to his backhand. And back come Detroit. Cicerelli. Fedorov on right wing. Fedorov around the defense, and Hervé hugs the post. Drives off in the corner. He sends it to the crease. Coffey doesn't pinch it. And Whitney for San Jose just dumps into the corner for a line kick.
San Jose are reluctant as a team to shoot the puck anywhere in the quality area. They're just afraid to fire it for some reason.
Well, they're playing their style here in the third period. Counterattack. Counterattack. Take care of business in your own end and wait for a mistake. Here's a mistake the other way. Sean Burr intercepting a clearing attempt, but San Jose covers up.
Yeah, how many times have we seen Detroit bust around with speed and try a wraparound and a pass in front of the net? And in every situation, San Jose has got a player or three there.
Karov at center. Ups into the corner for Konstantinov. Jason over his stick. No icing will be called here in Detroit. So Hervé goes ahead and plays it. Morton bumped hits with Sean Burr. Here comes Sandus Oselin. Back to left wing. Gaetan Duchesne, and a glove save by Osgood.
Good save by Osgood. Long shot. Looked like that puck was rolling on Duchesne. Their first shot on goal, really. The first one to punch off the stick.
Locked in the Detroit zone. 10:15 to go in regulation time. We're tied at 2. Game 7. Western Conference quarterfinal, Detroit and San Jose. Should the Sharks find some way to win this, I'd like to be a tavern keeper in San Jose, California tonight. Here's Con Ellis. 1-on-3, and he's deep in the zone. Now he's buried by Markow. Jason Moore backhands it in right at Hal's head. Jason Moore keeps it in. But it's intercepted by Eiserman. Oh, nice pass by Eiserman, but Primo couldn't control it. Moore into the corner. Odd bounce in the slot, but Red Wings are there. Litch comes up to the corner. That's the kind of bounce the goaltender can have nightmares about. Cronin takes care of Cicerelli. And Whitney sweeps it out of the zone. Here's Fedorov looking to center instead of shoot. And Sean Cronin bodies him in the corner. It's going to take a real big penalty for Van Helmen to call it now.
You're right.
That's just the way it is, isn't it?
You're absolutely right. This is the time to hold and hook and grab a guy down.
Icing on the San Jose Sharks. We're still tied.
More cheesesteaks for your cheesy need. Pop some Gringos cheese sums, please. Once you pop, you just can't stop the fun. The cheesy taste is so yum.
Now more cheesy flavor, the kind of cheese you're gonna savor.
So grab yourself some cheesiness. Not the busted pieces and greasiness. So put a can in your hand and check it out. The cheesy taste will knock you out.
Gringos cheese and flavor, the kind of cheese you're gonna savor.
Once you pop, you
can't stop.
I'm bored.
Let's count the palm trees again. Why are you looking at me like that, Iggy? You okay? Cut it out. You're weirding me, man. Stop looking at me like that, would ya? You're creeping me out. Cut that out, man.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Iggy, you're gonna twist my head off. Iggy.
Welcome back to Joe Louis Arena. The pressure on goaltending. Arthur Zervay's faced 24 shots. He's been having sort of an onslaught so far in the third period. Chris Osgood, though, has not faced any rubber, and that is the key for San Jose to get the puck on Osgood.
The tension mounts, and Irving didn't know where it was. And he thought he sat on it. It ended up behind the net. It's still in play. That has a crowd with the hearts in their throat. In the corner. 8:30 to go in regulation time. Detroit, I'm very wary of guys like Lariano and Macaros, such skilled passers and stick handlers there.
Well, this situation as individuals for Detroit, you have to make sure you eliminate your man. They are very tricky.
Hervey and Burr meet in the corner. Net is open. Burr controls it, but Hervey's back. Arthur Zervay showing a little gusto there. With Kevin Constantine, a former goaltender, was thinking about that move.
Say, get in your net, goalie. Get in your net.
Roseland. Intercepted by Yzerman.
Look, that stick work that goes on, huh?
Yzerman looking to center. Now behind the net. Centers out, but doesn't hit Chason. Duchesne did a great job breaking that pass up. Now Osgood has to come out to clear the zone. A couple of Red Wings get tied up in the blue line. Here comes Dolan. Oh, Dolan shoots. And Osgood to save. The guy they call the Wizard of Oz struck again for Detroit.
I pulled one out of his hat here. Dolan's got him. Clean to right. And with the big left paw, Osgood is able to lean back there. Dolan makes a nice play. And you see Terry Cartner as a defenseman eliminates the pass across. Oh, but what a great save by Osgood. Wow, for a guy that hasn't faced any rubber the majority of this game. Man, did he just rob old Dolan.
And my partner, Mr. Pang, a member in good standing of the Goaltenders Union, loves it when the little guys with the big sticks make the big save.
I think as a forward, you'd have to say, get it up forward, get the puck up in the air, but a great save by Osgood.
These two netminders have done a good job tonight. Osgood hasn't been tested in quite a while. He passed that test with flying colors.
That's what you can purely call a save of the game, especially seeing that San Jose has not had many chances.
Here come the Sharks again. Swimming into the Detroit zone. Ellis. Jason Moore is intercepted by Primo. Under 7 minutes to go in regulation time. Game 7 tie. Osgood backhands, but not out. The shot from the point. They score! Number 13 is not unlucky for the San Jose Sharks. Jamie Baker, who scored the first goal of the series, scores the biggest goal in the Sharks' history.
Well, one of the assets of Osgood isn't playing the puck after a brilliant save on Dolan. He gave the puck away, he went out to the corner and played it, went to his backhand, and look at the anticipation of Baker. Sensing there's an empty net, he just let it rip right to the far side and made no mistake about it. And I'm not sure if Bob Airey tipped it in front, but Airey's in the crease right here. Bob Airey's right skate is in the crease before the puck enters the crease area, and I know he had nothing to do with the play.
Here comes Fedorov right back, but Baker breaks him up. They did give the goal to Jamie Baker, his second of the series, his first since game 1 here in Detroit.
Saw right after that play, but Paul Coffey went over to Osgood and said, shake it off, pal, we need you.
Oh, it's up against the wall time for the #1 seed in the Western Conference, the Detroit Red Wings. You think of the Sharks scoring, you don't think of Jamie Baker making too many big goals. He's not up there with Makarov and Karpilov and company. Boy, did he come up that time. Taking advantage of the Osgood miss clear. Fedorov, an easy one in on Herbe, who hangs on. 5:50 to go. San Jose leading by 1.
Opportunity weekend at Jim Glover Dodge Nissan is not just for our new car truck buyers, because with all the terrific trade-ins we've been getting, our lots are full, and that means great news for customers looking for a pre-owned vehicle. In fact, right now we have so many used cars, trucks, and vans, it's a good thing we have 2 lots. Take a look at some of this week's great buys, like this '89 4x4 Chevy Crew Cab. This big boy's just $12,995. How about an '87 Colt Vista 7-passenger wagon for $29,995? Or take a look at an '89 Hyundai Excel with a sunroof, just $19,995. How about an '87 Buick Century for only $28,888? Or look at this one, a '92 Dodge Grand Caravan, just $12,988. It's the end of the month and we'll stay open till the last minute. Bring the kids and join the celebration. Opportunity weekend means great buys on new and used cars, trucks, and vans at Jim Glover Dodge Nissan on I-40 across from Tinker.
Welcome back to Joe Louis Arena. Artur Herbe knows his team is only 550 away from a stunner in the first round. After 2 periods in Calgary, the Flames trying to stave off elimination. They haven't won a playoff series since they won the Stanley Cup back in '89. Trying to get off that schneid. Our Pringles storyline in this game, Sergei Makarov a goal and an assist. Chris Draper, a big goal for the Detroit Red Wings. Jamie Baker, though, the biggest one of the series just a moment ago. The San Jose Sharks are less than 6 minutes away from advancing to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Well, they've been a patient hockey club here so far. They've been patient, and Detroit has tried to come at them in every direction, but San Jose's clogged up the middle and hasn't given them very many opportunities for quality chances.
5.5 to go in regulation time. Here's Cicerelli in right wing. Fedorov breaks the net. He shoots. Herbe to save, and Todd Allen was there to clear away the rebound. Had somebody been in the slot for Detroit, the game would be tied. Artur Herbe kept it a 1-goal lead with that save. Cicerelli can't hit Kozlov. Duchesne in the corner. Without a stick, rushes back to pick it up. Here's Kozlov breaking out of his own zone. Ball Coffey. Bob Berry gets there for San Jose.
Well, Coffey dumped it in, but they were going for a line change, so no forechecking, no pressure.
Here's Eisenman, but he's offside, says the linesman. Ray Scapinello and Scotty Bowman. That was made before the year started. He criticized the quality of his goaltender. Made the trade late in the season for Essendon. But it turned out all along that Osgood would turn out to be #1 in this series. But it's ironic, isn't it, that an Osgood turnover handling the puck right now has Detroit in trouble.
Sergei Fedorov is one of the many weapons they have. Cicerelli on the pass to Fedorov, little backhander trying to go to the far side. But again, nobody in front of the net except for Todd Allen. Again, the discipline of the San Jose Sharks taking care of their own zone. There's 4:37 left in this game. From Detroit's perspective, you can't just clearly go gamble, gamble, gamble. You don't want this to be a 4-2 hockey game. They've got enough weapons. They could still be patient, and every one of these lines, starting with Eisenman and Fedorov, can go to the net.
There's Steve Chason. Shepard, Ford, 28 and counting. On the right point. Like a bumper on a pinball machine. That defense of San Jose just knocks it out. Here's Karpilov taking it away from Konstantinov, and Karpilov pays for it. Sharks setting up now to Detroit zone. Red Wing fans getting impatient. Karpilov goes to the bench. He's hurting. Got hit by Aaron Punk. Chase on. 3:50 to go.
The system of San Jose is perfect for this situation. They play that neutral zone trap, sort of a 1-2-2, and that's why the Detroit Red Wings right now, they can't get a pass across because the San Jose Sharks are clogging up that middle.
O'Donnell in the corner. Chris Draper Draper trying to get it from it, and he does. Nice job of digging by Draper. Eisenman, back pass to Coffey. Coffey looking to center, behind the net. Back to Lidstrom. He'll let her in. Irby the save, and the rebound is off to his left, and Duchesne clears the zone.
Oh, boy. Irby again. So a great goaltending can win her for you. Another great save by Arthur.
All of March in San Jose. Burr behind the net. Centers in front. Nobody home, but the Sharks Whitney. Under 3 minutes to go. A 2-on-2. Whitney with Aries. Whitney shoots off the poster, off the stick of Osgood. 1 of the 2. A year ago tonight, Detroit was eliminated in this building, a home 7th game in overtime, by the Toronto Maple Leafs. And they talked about that after evening the series at 3. They didn't want to lose it in 7 again. That was their motivation to play well tonight. Well, they haven't played terribly, but a key mistake has the Detroit Red Wings on the fence of elimination again.
Sure, you got a state-of-the-art entertainment center. A fully interactive home theater. Even got a gourmet delivery service. But have you got what it takes to be a mountain man? All it takes are the 2 cool beers of the Mountain Man. Smooth Busch beer, easy drinking Busch Light. So, be a mountain man. All you gotta do is head for the mountains.
Calling collect. You've got options. You can dial 0 like this guy.
Hi, Mommy. I rode on the plane all by myself.
Did I mention you'll be charged as much as you possibly can for this call?
Or
you can dial 1-800-COLLECT. Here's how it works. Dial 1-800-COLLECT. Yeah, I just saved you some cash. You're welcome. Love you. Called Mom Collect, huh? You know, you could have saved up to 44% by dialing 1-800-COLLECT.
can you find it in your heart to forgive me?
Tom Mees and Darren Pang back in Detroit. There's the situation. And yes, time is running out on Sergei Fedorov. Time is running out on the other big guns of the Detroit Red Wings. Would Markal be able to quarterback a play that would result in a tying goal? Could Dino Cicerelli get in front of the net and tip one in? That's what the fans in this building are hoping for. They're not booing their team. They're getting into it, trying to spur them on. I think right now the Red Wings would take overtime and love it. Chason can't keep it in the zone.
How many times have the Detroit Red Wings make blind passes right to the middle? No one's home except for the Sharks.
Eisenman tied up behind his own end momentarily. Here's Coffey on left wing. He'll dump it in. Kozlov. 4-man scrum. It comes to Elliott. And the Wings starting to take chances now. Under 2 minutes to play. We'll have to watch the Detroit net and see when Osgood comes out. This is Sandis Ozolek. And every time San Jose clears the zone, it buys them another 10 or 15 seconds. Under a minute and a half to go. Draper looks to the bench. He hasn't left yet. Or rather, Osgood looks to the bench. He hasn't left yet. He's coming out a little bit. Here's Cicerelli. Irby, a stick save. Osgood out a little bit more. Coffey, did he keep it in the zone? No. It came out over the blue line. Face-off just outside the San Jose zone. And look at the Sharks. Oh, they can smell it. It's like sharks in the ocean.
They've been calm, cool, and collected this entire game. Now, I'm wondering right now, which coach, Scotty Bowman, right now desperately needs a timeout. With the face-off just outside the blue line, his decision now would be, when do I pull the goaltender? And if I know Scotty's an experienced guy, this would be a perfect time for a timeout right now so we can discuss that with his goaltender.
Well, there you see it, head-to-head. When things were tight, the Sharks came out on top. But here you've got Detroit, Darren. They're the highest-scoring team in the NHL. There you have San Jose. They made the biggest one-year improvement in the NHL. This team won 11 games a year ago. This team was down as low as you could go. Only Ottawa was perceived as the worst franchise in the NHL. Here they are, a minute and 9 seconds away from knocking off these guys, the #1 seed in the Western Conference, who are thought to be a legitimate challenger to the Rangers for the Stanley Cup. Go figure.
start right away with the coaching change in San Jose. Kevin Constantine has established a system. He had many of these players in Kansas City. He added Wayne Thomas to his lineup in terms of coaching, and they believe in the system that they are playing. We're seeing it in the NHL. Systems are winning out. Red Wing fans right now are not.
And goaltenders are having an unbelievable playoff season. We've seen it around the league.